Given your past, I understand that you sometimes hesitate to trust others for fear of being betrayed. This fear is understandable. However, now, from the perspective of the years that have passed, can you understand that those who have betrayed or abandoned you may have suffered the same pain in their own past? And if so, can this understanding make it easier for you to embrace them with love and compassion? Haven't we said that love has all the solutions? Not only for the one who is loved, but also and perhaps even more, for the one who gives the love. The more you love people who have hurt you, the more healing will take place in your own heart. Can you see that? You are replacing hurt with love. Isn't that beautiful? So now you can understand that the key to this healing is entirely and solely in your hands. Isn't it liberating to know that your healing depends on no one but yourself? This is also one of the reasons why Jesus taught us to love our enemies. Because once we love our enemies, the concept of enemy no longer exists in our hearts, and we are liberated. So, loving our enemies is as much for our own good as it is for theirs. Don't you agree? In fact, if we want to, we can heal ourselves at any moment by embracing any situation, internal or external, with love. As long as we have love, we are safe, no matter what happens around us. Can you see it? So, the kingdom is here for those who want it and know how to access it, right? And loving our enemies is a key that we want to recognize. It can free us from all our past suffering. In fact, the more we use this key, the more we fill ourselves with love. Isn't that remarkable? So, anything that's not of our kingdom has no real existence, even though for many, it's still the only existence they know. But in reality, anything that is not rooted in or emanating from the truth has no real or lasting existence. Unfortunately, this false existence has been in people's minds for far too long. Once it was rooted in people's minds, it became a substantial reality. However, we can very well do the same thing the other way around. We can experience the living reality of our kingdom in our hearts and minds, and that in turn becomes our substantial reality. What holds the old world in place now is people's belief that this is the only reality, for this is the only existence they have known. But those of us who know that another existence is possible are here to live that other existence in our hearts and minds, in our words and actions. Then that reality will emerge just as much and more than the old, false reality. Why would it be more real? Because that true reality is what was intended, and everything in the universe is designed to support it. Everything is in tune with that reality, because everything is made for it, and with that original reality in mind. That is why you feel ready for it in your heart and mind. Because you, and each of my precious children, as well as the rest of creation, were conceived and made for this original reality. Can you see it? Therefore, the more of you, my children, are aware of your ability to create your reality, the faster the reality of our kingdom will manifest. This is why Jesus said that the kingdom begins within. For once it is firmly established within, it will manifest in outer reality. The forces of evil know this only too well. That is why they want to keep humanity in fear and fill their minds with images of misery and strife. Again, it is up to us to cut ourselves off from the source of these images and fill our inner selves with thoughts, feelings, and images of our kingdom. We are the masters of ourselves, and so we determine what fills our hearts and our minds. What do you think?